morning. I am Chef Mike. Food for You is my company. Today is make fresh, chunky, hot salsa, and then you will be able to taste this after we're finished. And if you'd like to purchase, you will be able to purchase the salsa, and I have some available for you to prepare a recipe item. Okay. Have you ever noticed that when you go to cut your vegetables, the cutting board slides out from under you? Insider tip number 1. Place a wet towel or cloth underneath your cutting board, and that will prevent the board from sliding out from under you. Now, chunky salsa are red onions here, and limes, and 2 types of tomatoes. We have vine ripe tomatoes and we have beefsteak tomatoes. We have cilantro and we have salt. Okay, so there are no preservatives or additives in any of the products. They are just the raw ingredients that we're going to make and put together for doing your cilantro. What you want to do is you want to roll it and then hold it by the base where the stems are so you don't get the stems, and just cut in a downward motion. Now, if you're wondering about your fingers, what you want to do is always cup your knuckles so that the knife is going straight down and you're not cutting your. Here's where leaving the top of the onion in place helps, because when you want to dice, you want to get consistent pieces of onions. So by leaving the top in place, it holds the onion together so it won't move when you dice. And you cut using the same motion all the way. Rolling the lime or lemon or citrus will release the juices and get the pulp soft and make it easy to work with. Okay. So, how many of you hate picking out the seeds of citrus fruit when you're making a recipe? I figured as much that all of you do. Insider tip number 2. After you've cut your citrus in half, oranges, limes, whatever it may be, what you want to do is cup your hand, leaving your fingers just a little bit apart, okay? And by squeezing the citrus into the palm of your hands, okay, it will hold all of the seeds. And if you tilt your hand slightly forward, when your fingers are just a little bit apart, all of the juice and liquid will flow into your mixing bowl. And if you retract your hand, you then have the seeds left in the palm of your hand. One more time, cup your fingers in the palm of your hand. You squeeze your citrus, you capture the seeds in the palm of your hand. You slightly separate your fingers, you tilt forward, releasing the liquid, you tilt back. So while I'm finishing this, I'm going to ask how many of you, when you're going to cook a recipe or make a meal, like to use garlic. Well, how about that smell, that odor that you get on your hands and your fingers when you're cutting fresh garlic? Insider tip number 3. When you're finished cutting all of your garlic, if you have a stainless steel pan that you perhaps are going to cook it in, or your sink. If you rub your fingers and your hands along stainless steel when you're finished cutting fresh garlic, you will notice that the odor is going. The spice in Arizona, we like it hot. So you trim them, get rid of your stems. Now, when you're using peppers, and it doesn't matter what kind of pepper, ghost pepper, jalapeno pepper, even a red pepper at the store, the hottest part of the pepper is going to be the core inside that attaches to the seeds, that white rind. So if you want to utilize the entire pepper to get the most flavor out of it, you would cut directly into the pepper using the rind and the seeds. The reason being, the seeds are the second hottest part of the inside of any pepper. If you just clean it and skin it and just use the outer part of any pepper, that's going to be the least amount of flavor from any pepper that you get. So you can, based on your preference and taste, determine how much heat and spice you want. So I mix them. I pull the core out, keep a couple of the seeds off to the side, and then after I'm finished chopping my pepper, I add some of the seeds back in, and I cut along, and we want to put everything together so that we can sample our product. So we will mix the salsa. And voila, fresh, chunky, hot salsa.